Bet you didn't think I was gonna actually come back to this video, huh?
Had to switch the whole lane when I'm driving the machine. True vision, big dream. Kingpin to the scene. They be talking on the net. I just count the green. Cash. From a phantom to a ghost.
Making another video today, but today it's gonna be for the, obviously you can already tell as you already read the title. It is for the SC8 mixer from AmpliGame mixer from FIFINE themselves. They didn't send this to me. Again, I pointed it out in the FIFINE AMA Pro T video review that I did a while ago, that I bought all this with my own money. So, you know, that's literally why I have this right now. So when I did this unboxing, I basically stated that I bought this all with my own money. So we're gonna go ahead and test this baby out right here, see how it holds up. I mean, spoilers, it's already pretty decent for me regardless. I like it. So, you know, there's that. And before we get into that, I want to also mention the fact that even though, yes, I did testing on this already before, it still is a really good like AmpliGame mixer. Okay, so fairly simple setup here. We already hooked up everything, so we're pretty much good to go on that. You can already see the mic here is recording everything I'm saying, and then the headset volume here is basically getting, you know, the feedback and what's obviously being said through the microphone on here. So yeah, there's that. And then obviously you have obviously you can see that well, you won't be able to see it, but I'll probably take a picture of it. That way you guys can see it more clearly. But this button is the mic monitor right here. This is the 48V button here. I was highly advised to not touch this at all unless you want to ruin your mic. I think this is for specific mics. So, you know, do with that information as you will. I still have to kind of like look through and figure that out myself. You got the 7.1, I believe this is a surround sound button, you know, better experience, I guess, or whatever. You also have your EQ settings, or your EQ button here, which switches between here for your game, your music, and then I believe for like, this is supposed to be like for movies or videos or something like that. So yeah, pretty cool setup there. You also have obviously you have your game volume and chat volume here. So obviously you can switch between those to make sure which one's being heard more. And then obviously it'll show you on the headset volume here if it's being, you know, recorded or not recorded, but monitored, or which part is being monitored, if that makes sense, pretty much. And then I believe you can also press the buttons to also mute it as well too. So you can pretty much do that right there. Obviously I'm still talking, which shows on here. If you can't hear that, that's probably because I muted the output here. So now we got the output back. Now I can hear myself again through the mic monitor. Then we got the mic mute button here. Obviously I was saying that you can't hear me because obviously it's muted because I pressed that. So that's nice to have right there, because honestly I was kind of hoping that they did have a mute button on here, and I was confused as to where it was until I had to look it up and see that someone had like pressed the button here, and I was like, oh, okay, that's how you work. Cool. Then you have the aux here. I believe the aux does mute too also as well. So that, I believe, is for whenever you're trying to I believe it's mainly for these right here, honestly. So when you plug this into your monitor or like whatever speaker you set up you have or whatever for that matter, you can change the volume on that right there, basically. But anyways, that's besides the point. That's besides the point. Then you have your custom A, B, C, and D buttons here. Now, obviously, of course, you can't see it right then and there right away because the lights is not very forgiving here. So I'll have to like show the picture again. And obviously, of course, I've already recorded sounds for these particular 4 buttons, which is cool. Apparently, you can press down each button and just make sure you play a sound, and whatever gets played in that, you just let go. It'll be right there, so you can press it whenever you want. So I've already recorded a few sounds. Hopefully, I don't get copyrighted for this, but I'm going to play them all right here for you guys.
Original recipe.
What are you on?
That one was actually me, particularly right there. The last one was me when I recorded that with the voice changer, which is what we're going to get into now, actually. So, this right here is the voice changer. Obviously, you have the auto tune, the elder, the monster, the robot, the megaphone, the baby, not the rapper, female, and male. So, we're going to go through each one of these and make sure you get at least a taste of every one of those. That way, you can at least, get a better idea of what this thing is capable of here. So, let's go ahead and get that started. This is the auto tune one here. Sounds pretty nice actually. I'm not gonna lie, but you really have to kind of like just start singing your fucking tunes to actually like for it to really register that whole like auto tune there. But I'm not doing that, so you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and move on for that. We got elder,
which basically just sounds like this, honestly, which is kind of weird. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen any elders sound exactly like this. So, but that's just besides the point. You know what? So we're gonna go into monster, which obviously this is kind of hard to understand. So I don't know how anyone can understand what's being said by this one at all. So here we got a robot.
then you got megaphone, which sounds pretty cool actually. It sounds like you're basically talking on the phone too, in my opinion. So there's also that, and then we're going to the baby here.
Again, not the rapper. So, there's that. I'm sniffling a lot right now because I literally think I'm getting my allergies back as I'm making this video, which is really fucked up timing, but you know what? It is what it is. Anyways, sound like a damn chipmunk doing this. But let's go to the female.
And then, this is the female here, which I don't know. I don't really. It's weird. As someone who grew up around a lot of women, honestly, I don't really see this being the definitive female voice changer. This just sounds off for me. But you know what? It is what it is. Again, like I said.
Then we have the male voice, which sounds damn near similar to elder, but that's besides the point. Just that elder sounds a little bit lighter than this. But you know what? We'll let that slide. Just because either way, regardless, I still like this mixer. It's really cool. So, anyways,
and then you hold it down to basically pretty much turn it off, and then so on and so forth. Also, there is a button in the back. Of course, I showed before when I unboxed it. This is to basically switch the LED colors, and it's pretty cool actually. I'm gonna go with blue, honestly. Oh wait, this is the one that still changes. So then you got a multitude of like modes to choose from on these. Obviously, blue is my favorite color, so I gotta go with blue here. But yeah, that's pretty much it right there. Let me know what you guys think about the SC8 AmpliGame FIFINE mixer. I think it's pretty decent, honestly. I think it's solid of a mixer myself, honestly. This is just something to honestly mess around with and just have fun with too on your streams and whatnot. Definitely plan on using this more often because I really haven't been using it for my streams lately, but I need to because I feel like I would have a lot of fun with this. So, you know what? We're going to do it next stream, possibly tomorrow. So we'll see. As I'm recording this today, it's Tuesday. So, push come to shove, it might change up. It doesn't matter. Either way, it'll still come out regardless. That's all you need to know. And then, of course, I just want to show you guys the little application you have to use to kind of basically get yourselves acquainted with the microphone and the SC8 AmpliGame mixer. Obviously, it already shows all that in the background right there. The headset and everything too, like everything is pretty much on there. Like it pretty much feels like it was designed, made for specifically like this usage right here, honestly, for these particular devices. So you got the main mixer here. You can honestly just create more channels, put yourself a dedicated space to streamer setup, pretty much whatever you want. You could change the voice mixer, game voice mixer up here as well, up or down. You could just mess around with all the volumes here, all the settings here. You could even mess with the light control here. which there is like many different features of this. Like if you switch to different like versions, the mic literally will show that on the RGB, like right here. You obviously you could see it right there, but you know, I thought it was pretty cool. This honestly is like really sick. It's like there's so much like stuff you could do with this. It's literally mind blowing. I like the radar one. The radar one was like one of my favorite ones. You got Matrix, 4-color, which honestly looks even more insane than I thought it would at this point. You got Light Rain, which looks pretty sick too. Power Burst, Color Block, switching. It's pretty fair, pretty good. And then there's more down here too at the bottom. There's customizable text. Um, and then you can also move the microphone too. Also, like if you want to just be only like specifically one color, you can have it as that. Or if you wanted the other color, you could do it that way too as well. Um, or just take it here, have it right there. Do the same thing up here, vice versa, you know. And you can obviously change the background color, the first color, and then the second color. Of course, the speed of which it's going, the stripe gap, the intercolor fan, all this other stuff. They have like so much like stuff here to like, mess around with to then try and get it to working good. And right now we're only just using like the AM8 Pro lights for the AM8 Pro mic. If we go to the FIFINE SC8, that's also a different story. I believe you can change these. Can't change this one. Can you? Okay, I guess not, honestly. Or maybe I just haven't figured it out yet because I just started trying to use it for the SC8. But anyways, that's beside the point. You got Mesh Rain. It's a pretty good one. Simulated Waves, not my kind of style, but if you prefer that, then hats to you. DNA Spiral. That one, I like that one. Actually, that one's pretty cool. Stacked Stripes. Energy Shield here. Regular stripes, pretty much. Blooms. And modern art. There's obviously sync image, sync video, sync screen too also as well. That basically just goes off of whatever is shown on your computer that you want to like sync it to. For that matter, you can actually change it to that color specifically. I'm not going to show it on here because obviously there's not really anything I can really sync it to for that matter. And plus, that would just be honestly me recording myself at that point if I do the videos. So like, obviously the Matrix, obviously you have that too. I don't think I went through that, but yeah. There's pretty much a lot there, honestly. You can honestly mess with so much with the lights and everything. It's actually insane. I've been like having so much fun with that shit, dude. It's not even funny. Then you have the EQ settings here too also as well. You can mess around with this too. I haven't touched it yet personally because I just kind of been trying to wait to find the perfect settings to use for the microphone. And of course, if there's one for the SC8 too as well, I'll do that as well. Then you got the hardware here, of course. You can select which device you're using. There's light pattern here, stuff like that. You can mess with those. Obviously, you could change the voice throughout here too as well. So if you really wanted to, you could
honestly just use the voice changer through here, and it would still kind of basically work the same way. And it's also selected on the mixer too as well, because the light is on for that. So if you wanted to mess around with this,
you could absolutely do so. It's
Up to your heart's content, I guess, in a way, basically. But yeah, it's
pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like it a lot. There's also internal recording. I have no idea what that's actually for. I didn't check that before. But and then you obviously have the voice change, noise reduction, which we're gonna test it out now to see how that works because I actually haven't tested a noise reduction on the SC8 mixer yet. So can you actually hear me from this way? Because if you can't, then that means it's good. It's working. If you can barely hear me, it's working. If you can't hear me through this way either too, then that means it's working just fine. So that means I have nothing to worry about in terms of noise reduction. So that's good. Okay. Now that pretty much is a given right there. I actually like that. We're gonna keep that on actually, to be honest. And also for the microphone too, I have it noise reduction on for the microphone as well. You can also change your voice through just the microphone by itself. Now, as for just doing it through like console wise at this point, at least PlayStation I can speak for, you can only mess with the mixer just with what's on here physically at that point. You can't do it through the website and then unplug it and then plug it into your PlayStation and then be like, hey, how's the noise reduction or whatever at that point. No, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Because I tried to do it with the mic and it didn't work that way. So to each his own. But at the end of the day, it's still a pretty solid mic. I like it a lot. There's so much to pretty much use from there. But yeah, there's not really much else I can say. There's not really much else I can say about it, other than the fact that it's just really solid. I actually prefer to use it because it's just, you know, my go-to microphone and my go-to mixer. Like that's better than my original mixer I had before. That's how much I like it. But anyways, that's besides the point. I just realized what I left it on the light for that matter. I'm gonna change that real quick actually before I forget. So just give me 1 sec. All right, there we go. Now it's better. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the video today. I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys the review on the SC8 AmpliGame FIFINE mixer. Really solid product. I'm loving it. So I personally just think it's honestly it's actually worth the purchase because most of these kind of go for so much more money nowadays too. Also, so it's like just seeing it for the price I got it for at the time being. I don't remember what it was, but I know it was pretty cheap. So I decided why not at this point. I don't regret it. I really don't. I actually love the product, both the microphone and the mixer. They're both solid products, and honestly, they get a. I think at this point they get a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't think there's anything really there that's kind of like made me go, okay, I don't like this. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off from this now. Hope you guys enjoyed the review, and hopefully it kind of showed you a couple of things, maybe if or so at that point. If it did, let me know in the comments. Obviously, of course, I'm always responding as much as I can, regardless of the fact. Do be sure to help your boy out. Get it liked, get it shared. If you can, share it with anyone else too, also as well. Possibly family, friends, whatever the case may be for that matter. Comment what was something you liked about the mixer, what was something you liked about the mic. Regardless, doesn't matter. Anything is good at this point. Any is good. And I will happily look it over and respond to you accordingly, of course. So yeah, I pretty much don't have anything else after that, actually. I think I'm pretty much good here. So y'all take it easy. I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Y'all have a good day. Be sure to watch out for my stream tomorrow too, because I'm recording this Tuesday. So tomorrow's Wednesday, the 17th of June. So be sure to definitely be on the lookout for that. I will possibly be streaming tomorrow.